All right, guys, I won a batch of locks off of eBay, just a whole bunch of, most of them are junk, a lot of them without, well, actually most of them without keys. And one of the locks that wasn't even pictured in the original listing is this little eagle lock. I mean, little being the operative term. It is, mid-sized to small lock, but I have never seen one of these eagles before, this style. The body appears to be some kind of cast metal. The shackle seems to be respectable. And on the bottom, pretty small keyway. And just to keep things interesting, notice this little seam around the perimeter of that base plate. We're going to talk about that in just a minute, but in great shape. I'm surprised it didn't come with a box. There's just very slight wear. I doubt this thing has ever really been used. And then when you look at the keys, it comes with the 2 original keys on the original little key ring, and they're all marked Terryville, Connecticut. Of course, that's where the Eagle factory used to be before they went out of business. This little lock, it's a 5-pinner, and it's got some fantastic pinning. Look at that. You got a real low-cut one right there blocking the doorway, so you got to really crawl under him to get access to the rest of those. This thing works beautifully, but before I open it, though, let me show you how these things are assembled. Now, it opens in It opens in a clockwise direction, but if you take the key and you turn it counterclockwise and you jiggle it just a little bit, you notice it rotates 45 degrees counterclockwise, and that's as far as it goes. It doesn't come any further than that. But what happens is when you now pull on this, watch this little plate. If you have to put a pretty good amount of energy on it, and you can get that little plate to kind of pop out like that. Now that's as far as it's going to come because they insert it into the lock like this. They shove it all the way up in there. Then they turn it, 2 little locking pawls, then hold it in place. Then they open it, and then they insert, well, actually they put a rivet, and they drive it down inside of there, and they round it off so that it can never again be taken apart, unless, of course, you want to drill out that little rivet. But I'm not going to do that. This is a great little lock. All right, you saw how that worked. You have it squared off, and then there's a little locking pawl. I think you can see it just popping out there. So that leads me to believe it may be shimmable, but we're here to pick it. So let's try to do that. So tiny little keyway. I could use top of the keyway, but then it's kind of getting in my way when I'm trying to pick. And there's a pretty good warding on the left side there. So let me see if I can find a pick that will get around that. This is a 15,000. This is one of the SS stub. It's called the V07 from Multipick. And then you can see that looks like it will get around that corner. What I need to do is keep myself from being thrown into the bottom of the lock, and I'll use bottom of the keyway tensioning. If I can find one the right size here. That looks like it might be binding a little bit. That might work. Let's try that one. All right, so slide them all the way in. All right, apply some light tension. Let me zoom in here. See what we got here. I'm applying light or heavy tension, and then I'm pulling the hook back until I hit the rearmost pin, and then I'm loosening up my tension, and then I'm going to work. I'm just looking for a binder. That was pin 3. And pin 1 is still, that was pin 5, got a little click off of him. That was 4. Now these Eagles, they don't have security pins, which for me, sometimes it means, especially if you've got a paracentric kiwi like this, it can be a little harder to pick. Because there's no feedback other than, resisting of the binding pin. And if you find a binding pin, you kind of take a chance. And sometimes you are going to overset. And it looks like I might have done that here. So that was pin 2. He was really bound up. That was pin 4. That was pin 3. And pin 1 is still not doing anything. Still springy. Well, I thought it might put up a little fight. Maybe I need to squirt some WD-40 up in there. Or there's pin 4. Pop back down. Pin 5. Pop back down. And there we go. Got it open. It's only 5 pins, and that was a little tougher than I thought it was going to be. Maybe I should have lubed it up pretty good before I did it, but you got what you got. Let's try one more thing. As I said, that might even be shimmable. A lot of times these are made with pretty good tolerances, and this one looks like it probably is. So it may not even be shimmable. Let's see if we can find our shim about the right size here, like this guy. Try that. We just want to try to fit him to, so it's got the same curvature of that shackle, and then just kind of work him down in this side first. And I doubt it does fit. I doubt we're going to be able to get it in the other side. Before we do though, let's try it. Yeah, there we go. So there's only a locking pawl in one side. Despite this other cutout, it's only got a locking pawl in this side. So probably not what you call a top security lock, but kind of an interesting piece of history and a little bit of fun to pick anyway. Anyway, guys, appreciate your time. Stay safe, stay legal. I think I'm going to go ahead and just send this to Lockpicking Lebowski. It probably is a collector's item in appreciation for all the locks he sent in the Lock Lab. Anyway, guys, thanks for your time.